Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Earthy Cures. You know, lately I've been feeling like every time I turn on the news, everything is urgent, loud, and stressful. So today, I wanted to do something different. I want to just sit down with you and talk through 3 specific health updates that are happening right now, but we're going to do it calmly, clearly, and without any of that unnecessary hype. We're going to look at a recent supplement recall that really drives home why reading labels matters, talk about what getting ready for flu season actually looks like, and clear up some confusion I've been hearing about vaccine policies. This isn't about scaring you or pressuring you into anything. It's strictly about awareness, making informed choices, and taking personal responsibility for your health. Let's dive in. Story 1. The reality of supplements. Let's start with something that's been on my mind quite a bit recently: supplement safety. I was looking into these recent recalls in the US, and it's a stark reminder of what goes on behind the scenes. We tend to assume that if a bottle is on a store shelf, it's been stamped with approval, right? But the reality is that dietary supplements aren't pre-approved by the FDA before they get to us. Usually, the FDA only steps in after something goes wrong, after reports of harm, lab testing reveals issues, or inspections find manufacturing violations. The recent recalls were issued for some pretty serious reasons. We're talking about heavy metal contamination, lead, arsenic, mercury, and even undisclosed pharmaceutical ingredients. That means some natural products actually contained prescription drugs that weren't on the label. I noticed a pattern in the types of products that get flagged most often. It's usually the ones making big promises: weight loss pills, sexual enhancement supplements, bodybuilding boosters, or anything claiming instant or miracle results. The risks there are real. Everything from high blood pressure and liver injury to dangerous drug interactions. So what do I do when I'm shopping? I don't just trust the front of the bottle. I look for brands that use third-party testing. I specifically look for something called a Certificate of Analysis, or COA. I stay skeptical of extreme claims, and I check the FDA recall listings. It's not about fearing supplements. It's about demanding transparency. Story 2. Preparing for flu season. Moving on to something we deal with every year: the flu. Public health officials are really encouraging people, especially older adults, kids, and those with chronic conditions, to think ahead this time. Don't wait until you're already feeling those chills. We know how it spreads: respiratory droplets, close contact, touching a surface, and then touching your face. And we know the symptoms hit you suddenly: the fever, the aches, the fatigue. But when I think about preparedness, I think beyond just the pharmacy. Sure, the CDC emphasizes hygiene, masks in high-risk spots, and vaccines for those who choose them. But for me, real preparedness is about having your home kit ready. Do you have a working thermometer? Do you have electrolytes and easy-to-digest foods in the pantry? Are you getting consistent sleep and eating nutrient-dense meals right now to build that immune resilience? I also think about my home environment. Indoor air quality is huge. Good ventilation, air filtration, and keeping the humidity balanced can actually help reduce viral spread. It's about being ready before you need to be, so you aren't scrambling at the last minute. Story 3. Clearing up vaccine policy. Finally, I want to address the confusion floating around regarding vaccine policies. I've heard a lot of different things, so let's look at what has actually changed and what hasn't. The recent updates are really about logistics. It's about access pathways, making things available at pharmacies, community clinics, and schools, rather than mandates. The language has shifted to emphasize shared decision-making. It's about you and your provider having an open conversation and assessing your individual risk. I think it's really important to highlight what hasn't changed. There are no new federal mandates. There are no forced vaccination programs, and there are no penalties for declining. The focus is on safety monitoring and balancing population protection with individual autonomy. The goal right now is access and information, not coercion. So, that's the takeaway for today. Whether we are talking about the supplements on your shelf or navigating flu season, the goal is simple: stay informed. Question those big claims. Prepare calmly. Ultimately, Make the health decisions that align with your values and your specific circumstances. That's the Earthy Cures approach. Thanks for listening.